Hello and welcome to the Box Score Network NFL preview show on YouTube. Thank you all so much for joining. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like this video as well. We are joined by Austin, Ben, Parker, and myself. I am Simon. We are from Box Score Network, representing almost all of the families, as Austin likes to say, of Box Score Network. We'll talk to you about that more at the end here. But we are here to preview week 4 of the NFL season. We're going to start by talking game of the week. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are currently favored by 2.5. This is the Sunday night football game. Austin, let's jump it over to you first. What's something you're looking for in this one?
Well, I'm looking for the Ravens to get on track, and that doesn't necessarily have to materialize in a win because they are playing a very difficult and talented Bills team. But they've kind of squandered some opportunities early in the season, I think is the best way to put it. And I think for them to play confidently against a really good team and not lose it in heartbreaking fashion at the end, like, they did a couple times early in the year. I mean, if this is a repeat of the Chiefs game, then I think that's just doors on the Ravens season, unfortunately.
Ben, Ravens, Bills, what are you looking for?
Give me the Ravens to win at home. They finally got that running game settled in last week, like they should have really done from the get go. Bills are good, but I like the Ravens here. Again, they're still a good team. I like the way this Ravens defense matches up with this Bills offense, to be honest about it. I didn't like it at first glance, but the more I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Even though the Bills don't have any one particular target that they're going to be throwing to, the Ravens have a pretty good secondary here to match up. And they don't have the best pass rush in the world. The Ravens don't, but they don't necessarily need that. They kind of just want to contain Josh Allen. They don't really want him getting out of the pocket anyway. So I like the way this Ravens defense matches up, even though the Ravens defense hasn't looked crisp yet this year at all. So give me the Ravens at home, all things considered.
Parker.
All right, so because the Ravens defense has not looked so crisp so far this season, I am on the other side of the fence. I'm going to take the Bills. I think the Bills are just firing on all cylinders, and Josh Allen's just, I mean, playing like out of this world. And I don't think I can go against a quarterback like that versus the other side of the ball that's just not super impressive so far. Nothing out of pocket coming from Baltimore, where Buffalo's doing a little more for me. So I'm gonna take Buffalo.
Yeah, some stats here to talk about what Ben and Parker are alluding to. So far, Baltimore is just an average pass defense, specifically elite run defense, but average pass defense right now as they transition from Mike McDonald to Zach Orr. They're 10th in EPA per pass allowed, but they're just 22nd in pressure rate and allow the eighth highest time to throw. So that 10th in EPA per pass allowed, and I'm not even 100% sure I wrote down that right number. That might have been 13th. They're allowing quarterbacks to have time to sit back there. They're not getting a lot of pressure yet. Zach Orr's figuring out what pressure looks he wants to use. And I don't think this is the week that changes. Josh Allen, meanwhile, on the other end, is having an MVP start to the season. He is first in passing EPA per play and first in and the Bills are first in offensive DVOA, specifically in the pass game as well. So I think this could be a really good matchup for the Buffalo Bills to pass the ball. I said the same thing about the Cowboys last week, but the Cowboys are not where the Bills are in terms of a passing offense, specifically this season at this point. So I think the Bills have a really good way into getting a lead and stopping the Ravens from getting into their run game, which they really leaned into and discovered against the Cowboys last week. 274 yards on the ground for the Ravens last week. And the Bills at this point are just about an average run defense, but a top 10 pass defense. So I think the Bills are going to be able to get out to a lead, keep the game scripts and the time of possession the way they want it. It's going to be a pass the ball kind of game. And I think they're going to be able to handle this one. So Ben had Ravens. Parker and I are on Bills. Austin, which way are you going with this one?
Ravens.
We're going Ravens. All right, we're split down the middle. I like it. I just a tease. I haven't done this yet for everybody, but I am starting to track when we're all on the same page versus when it's like 3-1 and 2-2 on our picks. So we'll have those numbers for you next week. I wanted to get 4 games in before we do that, but
Mhm.
it doesn't look good when we're all in agreement, which is Pretty common, I think.
Last week there was like 2 or 3 games that missed, and we were all in agreement too. So that doesn't help the percentage at all.
There's a lot of reds going all the way across some columns in our doc, and it's not fun when I have to do that. All right, let's get into our picks for the rest of the games here. We're gonna start with Steelers at Colts. The Steelers 3-0 are favored by 2 points. Austin, what are you going with here?
I'm going the Steelers. I think they're going to handle this one. I was looking at some stats between the Steelers and the Colts, what they match up well, and I just like the Steelers.
Ben.
Steelers are playing good. The Colts aren't. I'm searching for a reason why the Colts are going to pull this thing out. Anthony Richards is going to have to come up with something big that he hasn't done in the past 2 weeks. I'm not sure that happens against the Steelers defense. So give me the Steelers here.
Parker.
Simon, for your sake, I hope that we see a green line on this portion of next week's doc instead of a red line, because I'm going Steelers too. The one thing I got to look at, I mean, the best thing about the Colts offense is obviously the run game, but the best thing about the Steelers team is that front seven on defense. And I think I'm just taking their front seven versus the Colts run game all day long. And yeah, give me the Steelers.
Yeah, this Steelers front right now is playing like one of the top three, top two defensive fronts in the NFL right now, and Anthony Richardson is going through what should have been his last year's rookie turbulence, right? Having some really tough games so far this season. This is not the group you want to meet when you're trying to get right. So give me the Steelers in this one as well. Next game up, Broncos at Jets. The Jets are currently favored by 8. This line is moving up in favor of the Jets. Austin, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I got the Jets strictly for defensive reasons. The Jets are very good, especially on first down. The Jets are very good on first down. And so, keeping Bo Nix having in second and third and long situations is going to be tough all day. So give me the Jets.
Ben.
I'll take the Jets. Aaron Rodgers every week has shown us something that no other quarterback in the league does. I mean, every week. And he's looked a little better each week. Last week was his first real kind of breakout passing performance. I don't see why he can't increase that again this week. So give me the Jets to win this thing.
Parker.
There's a storm. I'm just kidding. No, I'm taking the Jets. I'm right with the other two guys, man. I think Aaron Rodgers can find a way to buckle this one down and beat this Broncos team.
I've got the Jets as well. I think they cover this one by a landslide too. Revenge game. Nate Hackett, not that he's going to do it, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to bat for his guy. I think Robert Saleh is going to want to rub it in the Broncos' face, because not only did Hackett come from the Broncos, Sean Payton openly mocked Nate Hackett on the way out, essentially. So coaches don't like when you do that. You can't do that in a coach's circle. So I think the Jets take it to him. Vikings at Packers. The Green Bay Packers are favored by 3. Should note Jordan Love is expected to play in this one, coming back from that knee injury. So Packers at home, giving 3. Austin, what do you got?
Packers.
Austin just working the jinx game. I love it. Ben.
That's it. This one was really tough for me, man. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Vikings here. They're playing so well at the moment. And again, does that translate postseason? I don't know. We'll find out. But for now, they're playing so well. It is going to be Love's first week back. And that defense for the Vikings is playing really well, too. So, tough game here. But I like the Vikings.
Parker.
Yeah, I'm with Ben. I'm going to take the Vikings too. This one was really tough for me. It's probably one of the tougher ones on the whole day for Sunday. And I think my one thing is that this Minnesota defense is going to get Jordan Love in that first quarter. Like, they're going to get to him one time in the first quarter. And it's Jordan Love's first game back since Friday night in Brazil. So that's one thing that I'm like leaning heavy on in this pick. So got to take Minnesota. They're hot.
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota as well. I don't like putting Jordan Love here, his first game back against this Vikings defense. So giving me the Packers as well. Saints at Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 2.5. Austin, what do you got here?
Yeah, I don't really get this line at all. I mean, to me, it's pretty obviously Saints, and it's in a dome, so weather's not playing a factor. With all the storm that ran through, so I just expected, a pretty normal football game where both team plays to their strength, and Saints are the better football team in my eyes right now.
Ben.
Did this one, man, will the real team please stand up in this whole freaking division? We thought we knew going in And then we thought after 2 weeks we knew a different team, and it's just all messed up again. I don't know who to pick, Kira. Give me the Falcons to win. I don't trust any of these teams once again in this division. Somebody please show me something. But give me Falcons to win.
Parker.
I'm gonna have to pick Falcons based off of one thing, and that's their safety play. Like their safeties, I think are gonna stop this Saints team from like having those big explosive plays that really get them going. And I mean, Falcons are at home, they're favored, and they didn't look bad against the Chiefs. So I'm gonna take Atlanta at home here.
I'm taking Atlanta as well. The Saints have Eric McCoy, the center, and Cesar Ruiz, the right guard, out. I'm worried they're not going to get the run game production that they've been getting the last couple weeks, even though this Falcons defense isn't great against the run. Eagles at Bucks. The Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 1 in Tampa Bay. Austin, what do you got here?
I mean, it was a horrible game for Baker last week, and he has those. That's a thing Baker does. You can't really expect him to be completely done with those at this point in his career. So I'm gonna say he gets past it. AJ Brown being out is a big downside for the Eagles. Give me the Bucks.
Ben.
It was an ugly game for Nick Sirianni last week for 2.5 quarters, and yet the Eagles pulled it out. Just one of those real tight games. I like the Buccaneers here. Again, this is a tight one. I wish one of these teams would step up and be consistent. They've both been, a little inconsistent from, the first 2 weeks into week 3, at least for the Buccaneers. And listen, give me the Buccaneers. Tight game here, though.
Parker.
Yeah, I'm right there with the fellas, man. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I mean, you can't look away whenever you see that the Eagles are like 2-9, I think, in their last 11 games. And a lot of that has to do with the head coach. And I'm kind of trusting Baker and the Bucks to shake last week off and get a big win here at home. I think this would really get them moving, and maybe something really they need to go after to win the division. I mean, a confident win like this would really help.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean sweep here. We're gonna go with the Bucks. I don't know what this Philly offense looks like over the course of a full game without AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. Both guys are officially out. I don't love that, and for the fact that Todd Bowles gets to game plan for that. Bengals at Panthers. The Bengals are favored by 5 points in Carolina. Austin, what do you got here?
I was the only one who went I wasn't on the show to say it, but I did, I did put
You
my
got your
pick.
credit. You did it.
I
You
did
pulled
put
the
my
trigger.
pick in the thing. I picked the Panthers to win that one. I'm not doing it again this week though. I think that the Bengals have a very obvious weakness, and that is their run defense. And I don't think the Panthers are going to be able to exploit that as well as a lot of other teams have thus far in the season. So give me the Bengals.
Ben. Excuse me. Ben.
I'll take the Bengals as well, man. They can't lose another one, right? They got too much talent to lose another one. Surely they don't go to Carolina and lose this game. So give me Cincinnati to win. There's just too much talent sitting there. Burrow's too good.
Parker.
Yeah, give me Carolina. I think there's just something about this script where Andy Dalton goes back to Cincinnati, or not to Cincinnati, but gets to play against Cincinnati and gets a win for this Panthers team that's just had a really rough start. And again, like who the Bengals have played, like you can't put any faith in them at this point. Like they're not a good team. I mean, that's just part of it. Like right now, for what it is, no matter what we thought preseason, the Bengals are not a good football team in the moment. So I'm going to take the Panthers because the Panthers looked really good last week against a team that just beat the Ravens. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Panthers.
Yeah, give me the Panthers as well. I'm gonna chase what I should have been on last week with the Panthers. Andy Dalton was benched by Zach Taylor in Cincinnati on his birthday all those years ago in his last time in Cincinnati before they tried to trade him. I think he's getting his revenge on Zach Taylor specifically today. Give me the Panthers in this one. Jaguars at Texans. Texans are favored by 6. Austin, what do you got?
Yeah, this one's pretty easily Texans for me. I just think it's a good offense against a bad defense. So Texans.
Ben.
Yeah, give me the Texans as well. Texans by a lot. Man, usually these division games kind of, especially this division, one of these divisions, kind of runs a little weird, get some weird things. Jaguars are awful, man. I mean, they're just absolutely dreadful right now. They're playing some of the worst football in the NFL. And you know, you got the Texans ready to come back in and get things right at home. So give me Houston.
Parker.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem with the Jags that I'm having with the Bengals. Like, they just don't look like a good football team right now. Like, do they have the pieces? Sure. But are they playing? They're not firing on any cylinders whatsoever. Everything's kind of off balance. So I got to take the Texans here to win at home. But this is like such a game where the Jags just show up and win and just show everybody up. So it's hard to pick. I'm going to take the Texans. I think the Jags would cover the spread, though. I think it's going to be tight.
I am also going with the Texans. Get right game for them. I don't think they're going to lose two in a row after that game against Minnesota last week. Get right game for the Texans. I have them winning as well. Rams at Bears to finish out our 1 o'clock Eastern slate. The Bears are favored by 3 points. Austin, what do you got?
The Rams are the better team, but I'm picking the Bears to win. I just think stars are aligning and on all the research I've done. Way too much to get into right now, but I'm taking the Bears.
Ben.
This one was such a tough one, but give me the McVay Magic for a second week in a row here against a rookie quarterback who looked better last week for the first time. But listen, I just trust the coaching staff here of the Rams more than I do the Bears. That's really what's going to come down to here. So give me the Rams to pull this thing out.
Parker.
Yeah, I mean, if I take McVay and that squad over the Niners, I got to take them over the Bears, right? Like I don't really have a choice. So I'm going to take the Rams here. I think they're just the better coach team. And same argument as last week. I'm taking Stafford over rookie quarterback, even if it's Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams here as well. Coaching is everything. And McVay is doing it as well as you can in this situation. So I'm going to go with the Rams too. Let's move into our next time slate here. We're going to start with the Commanders at the Cardinals. Arizona favored by 3.5. Austin, what do you got?
I got the Commanders, and if I had to just give one kind of stat why, it is because the Cardinals give up the second most yards per passing attempt to the left side of the field. And you know who lines up on the left side for the Commanders every single play? That's Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's going to eat this game.
Ben.
I love that McLaren stat. This is my officially most funnest game of the week. All right. So one game I recommend you do not miss. This is it more than any other game, man. So Commanders and Cardinals, there's a lot of fun young guys all over the football field. Kyler Murray's back. He's going to light it up against a weak Washington secondary. Give me the Cardinals to win this game. I do expect it to be tight, though. Tight and fun. So most funnest game of the week. Do not miss this one if you only get to watch one.
Parker.
If I would have told you, Ben, in week one that you were saying the Cardinals and Commanders are the funnest game in week four, you would have been like, yeah, okay, get out of my face. But it's so funny that both these teams have evolved the way they have, and it kind of got everybody excited. Highest over under points on the week in this game as well. I'm going to take the Cardinals though. I've been very impressed on what they've shown. They've played some tough teams early. I think this is a win they can put under their belt to move forward into next rest of the season. So. Yeah, give me Kyler and the Cardinals.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals too. Commanders going all the way out there. I think is going to be a little tough for them. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals to put up a little bit better of a fight defensively than the Bengals did last week. Patriots at 49ers. Talk about a line here. The 49ers are favored by 10.5 with all of the guys out there. I mean, let's just mention a couple of these guys. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is still on IR. Debo Samuels is likely out for this one. Trent Williams popped up on the injury report this week. He is likely out for the 49ers as well, but George Kittle should be returning for San Francisco, but they're still favored by 10.5 at home over the Patriots. Austin, what say you?
This is the opposite of the last game. If I had to recommend you miss one game this week, it would be this one. Uh, you know, go take a few bathroom breaks whenever your red zone's on and they flip over to this game. That's when you go take your bathroom break. It's very obvious. Give me the 49ers. That is all.
Ben.
I wouldn't trust the line on this game, but the 49ers are better. They're at home. Patriots having to go all the way across the country. Even an injured 49ers team, unfortunately, is still more talented than this Patriots lineup, especially when you look at the Patriots offensive side of the football. So give me the 49ers to win.
Parker.
This is a tough one for me, man. I think this point spread's what's messing with my head. My heart wants to go Patriots, but my head's going pick the Niners. So I'm gonna go with my head on this one. I'm gonna pick the Niners to win. I'm gonna stick with the other two, and hopefully we all get a green check mark on this one this week.
Yeah, we're not going to overthink it. We're going to say the 49ers. We're not going to let this confuse us. But let's be clear. If we were picking based on the spread, we would all say the Patriots are covering this 10.5, right? There's no way
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
I think
49ers
yeah.
win
I
by
believe
11
so.
points or more. Austin looks hesitant.
I am hesitant.
We need like a
No,
daily
no,
double. We need a bonus. We
yeah.
need like one game a week where we do this kind of thing, and we just we just let it ride, see what happens. We'll work on that for next week, everybody. Browns at Raiders. The Cleveland Browns are favored by 2.5. A lot of injuries in this one. Max Crosby is doubtful. Devontae Adams is out. The Browns' offensive line is completely decimated at this point. But the Browns are favored by 2.5 going away. Austin, what do you got here?
I'm gonna take the Browns. The Raiders are pretty banged up heading into this week, and the Browns are pretty good at a shotgun. And with Max Crosby out, I don't see how this Raiders um, defensive line is going to get enough pressure on Watson, and he does pretty well when he's not getting heavily pressured. Not great, but that's when he's at his best, which is just okay.
Ben.
Each week, if I'm not putting money on something, which I rarely do, I allow myself one emotional pick instead of an analytical pick, and this is going to be it. So I'm picking the Raiders here. I just want the Raiders to win, man. I mean, this Browns mess over here. No offense to Cleveland fans, this Browns mess over here, this inconsistency, especially at quarterback. Man, I'm just hoping that somehow we bring an end to all this over the next offseason or two. Give the Raiders to win at home. They got the heart. Pierce has still got everybody playing hard. I like their aggression on offense, even though I've never liked the OC that's now over there. So I like the way they're passing the football and trying to get after it. Give me the Raiders at home.
Parker.
I'm with Ben on this one. It almost seems like the Raiders are like the most emotionally stable team in the league. Like they just everyone in the locker room is just like on the same page, all want it just as bad as the next guy. And another thing for the Browns, man, is like I can't see them developing a run game with the offensive line injuries they have, no matter who's on the defensive side. And I just don't trust giving the ball to Deshaun Watson. Like I don't trust putting it in his hands to win a football game. So that's a big reason why I'm taking the Raiders in this one.
I am taking the Browns. I don't like what this Raiders defense is putting out there right now, and if Max Crosby isn't going to be there, then I think it is just I think it's game over if they can't. I know this Browns offense isn't great, but this Raiders defense is struggling. Potentially no Max Crosby hurts. I'm going to go with the Browns as well. Let's see. Chiefs at Chargers. The Kansas City Chiefs are favored by 7. The Chargers are missing a bunch of guys. Herbert is expected to play once again with that high ankle sprain he's dealing with. But Joe Alt is out. Rashawn Slater is out. Number of guys out for the Chargers in this one. Joey Bosa, I would have to double check, but he left that Steelers game early last week. He could potentially be out or limited with that hip. But Chiefs favored by 7 away with the Chargers. Austin, what do you got?
If this becomes a shootout, I would get a little bit nervous for the Chiefs, but I'm expecting it to be pretty low scoring, and the Chiefs should handle it pretty easily in that situation.
Let's
I
see.
expect low
Ben.
scoring. Sorry, I expect low scoring as well there. Chiefs offense has been muted so far this year. I do think they'll figure it out by the end of the year, but right now they're still, working through everything. So I expect low scoring. I expect tight game, but give me the Chiefs to win.
Parker.
So the Chiefs are like 3 plays away from being 0-3, essentially. 2 flags and a toe. But I think this is the first time they're actually going to get a good win. Like I could see a double-digit win from the Chiefs here against the Chargers. I just think with all the injuries, especially on the O line, man, I don't know what the Chargers are going to do to stop this defensive line of the Chiefs from getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, and by the way, Joey Bosa, yes, is ruled out of this one. Those tackles being out for the Chargers, man, is so tough. They
Mhm.
do so much for the run game as well as pass protection. Herbert is banged up. The Chiefs, for all the struggles on offense, are still putting it down on defense. Give me the Chiefs to win this one. Let's move into well, we already did the Sunday night game. We've got Austin and Ben are on the Ravens. Parker and I are on the Bills. So let's move into the doubleheader on Monday nights. We have the Titans at Dolphins. The Dolphins are now favored by 2.5. That's a big swing. They were only favored by 1, but Tyler Snoop Huntley, former Pro Bowler, is now listed as the starter for this game. Austin, what do you got?
Give me the Dolphins. I think the, end of game or unfortunate picture for Will Levis train keeps going. It's hit every week for the first 3 weeks, and I think we're getting another memeable moment from Will Levis here again.
Ben.
This is my official ugly stick game of the week. Yeah, man, this must be the ugliest game. The quarterback play here is not going to be good. The defenses are going to slow things down. Uh, this is an ugly game. Give me the Titans to win, though. Will Levis, even though he's got these ugly, ugly plays, and probably will have another one on Monday night, he is producing at some level that at least gives them a chance to compete. And the Dolphins just aren't running away from anybody right now. So close, tight game. Give me Tennessee on the road.
Parker.
Yeah, I mean, I got to take Tennessee with the defense playing the way they are, and Skylar Thompson playing quarterback for the Dolphins is just tough for me. I
Snoop.
can't pick.
It's Snoop. It's Snoop now.
I'm
Tyler
sorry.
Huntley. Does that change your mind?
Oh my gosh. No, give me Tennessee. Yeah, the one thing I did say, I wouldn't. I'm sorry, guys. I was actually writing down a bet I liked for our later segment, but. Funny thing is though, is that me and Peyton talked. The one thing I'm surprised about this game is that there's no Ryan Tannehill involved. Like there's not a single piece of Ryan Tannehill in this
That
football
is
game. When both
that is
teams need
weird.
a quarterback, he's been in these teams in multiple situations. But give me Tennessee to hold it down, man. Will Levis has to do something.
Let's see. Yeah, give me the Titans in this one. Quarterback playing his first game with the team, this Dolphin scenario, and I think this is also probably the easiest defense that the Titans have faced. So Will Levis might not have one of those moments in this one. Give me the Titans as well. Uh, Next, and our final game, big Monday night primetime game, Seahawks at the Lions. Detroit is favored by 3.5. Austin, what do you got?
Um, I was really big on the Lions this year, but give me the Seahawks. It has the vibes of an upset. I I don't know why. I'm happy Ken Walker's coming back. I think that'll help big time. I'm getting upset vibes here.
Ben?
If you like running backs, this is the game for you. Both teams are really featuring two sets of running backs, actually. So if you got a fantasy running back in this game, they're probably going to get a lot of touches and you can score a couple of touchdowns. I like the Lions here at home. They have not looked good in any of their 3 games this year. There are reasons for that. I actually think they're running the football too much, as I said last week, and I got reasons for that. But they're going to keep it up this week, and I think they're going to come out with a win here over the Seahawks.
Parker?
I'm in a boat with Austin. I really like the Lions this year. They were like my favorite to get to the Super Bowl out of the NFC, but this game, like I think the Seahawks get it done. Like I don't know, something just screams at me that says the Seahawks figure this one out and get a win in prime time. And it just I just think me and Austin's brains are clicking. Like the exact thing that came out of his mouth is what I wanted to say. So I'm just gonna side with him on this one.
I can't believe that the Lions are favored by 3.5 for everything you guys have said. I mean, this Seahawks defense is lights out right now. They hit the ground running. And this Lions offense somehow is off to such a slow start by their standards. Give me the Seahawks too. This was an easy one for me. I'm all over the Seahawks here. I think they're gonna have their way both on both sides of the ball in this one. So give me the Seahawks too to win this game. All right, those are our picks. Let me now at this point give everybody an updated rank on the standings. One Parker is in first place at 27 and 17. Ben is next up, and he's second place, 25 and 19. I am in third, 24 and 20, and Austin is in fourth, 23 and 21. But we're all really close, man. Any given week for any of us at this point, I can feel it. Like I said, next week I'll get back to everybody on how we're doing on when two of us are paired up. What duo, what handcuff is doing really well when we're all in agreement, when we're all over the place. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're back next week. let's hit our bets portion. So we each are going to give 2 bets. It could be anything. Get as crazy as you want. Austin, you are up first. You are starting off. Here's where you're at for the season. You have 69 goats worth, which I learned what that was last week. So here we are, 69 goats worth. Austin, what's your first bet?
I've decided I'm going to stay just the rest of the season. I like the number
Just
I'm
gonna
at.
try to keep it right here. Right here. I
Um,
like that.
no, I'm going to take the first bet I'm going to take is my slightly more conservative bet. This will be Houston to score over 2.5 touchdowns on offense. Like I said, good offense going up against a rough defense against Jacksonville, and I feel really confident about this. The line is minus 157, and I'm going to take it for 25 goats worth.
Mm, I like that one. Ben, what do you got?
I'm still light and conservative here because it's early in the football season. And while we think we know some things, boy, some of these teams are so inconsistent. But I'm actually going to pull off the Jaguars Texans game as well. I'm going to pick the Texans. I'm only going to put 5 on them, the Texans to win and cover against the Jaguars. 5 goats worth.
And I should say Ben is at 77 goats worth right now. He is in third place. Austin is in fourth with that 69. Parker, what's your first bet?
All right, so you started it. I told you what I was going to do this week. I think I'm at 126.
126. Parker
So
is the
in
big
my
baller over
mind,
here.
I am up 26, right, from the 100 we started at. So
Right.
I'm spending it all this week, and I'm spending it big. Um, my first one, I'm taking 5 underdogs in a parlay. I think that these are 5 winnable games for all of these underdogs.
Yes.
Saints,
My hero, Parker.
Saints money line against the Falcons, Jags money line against the Texans, Vikings against Green Bay, Tampa Bay against Philadelphia, and the Bills against the Ravens. It's 10 goats worth to pay out 711 goats worth. That's my
All
first.
right. I have to ask a question here. How do you go with this underdog ridiculous parlay and not put the Seahawks in it?
Well,
You should
there's
just
always
throw the
one
Seahawks in.
because at the same whenever you do that, that's where you mess up. That's where you mess up. I picked the 5 that I'd rather take a division upset here. Like the Jags would have been my substitute. But
Okay.
I
All
like the
right.
division
Division.
matchup.
Okay.
I,
All
I I
right.
think that plays a little bit. And like 4 of these teams I took in my pick'ems. So like I
Okay.
actually think they're the teams that are gonna win. So
Putting your money where your mouth is. You got to do it. So yeah,
yeah.
Parker is in first place by a good margin here at 126. I'm in second place at 79. I'm gonna give you guys both of my bets because they go together. I've got the Bills money line as well, plus 114, which again just feels like stealing. And to get there, I've got Josh Allen over 40 rushing yards, which is plus 175. I'm putting 10 goats worth on each of those. I think this hits in whatever kind of game this is. If this is a slog it out game because these defenses are going just crazy, what does Josh Allen do when the going gets tough? He runs the ball, he puts it on himself when he needs to. And then if it's kind of a air it out, like we're spreading things, we're getting back to kind of some wide open Buffalo Bills stuff from the last 3 seasons, then he's going to have room to run. And it's going to be, Roquan Smith is there, roam in the middle, but it's not the same linebacking core and DB tackling type of situation for the Ravens as it's been the last couple of years. So I think either way, whatever game plays out, if the Bills win, which I expect Josh Allen to have this 40 rushing yards. So I'm getting plus 114 on the Bills to win and plus 175 on Josh Allen going over 40 rushing yards. So I'm making my bets all Bills, Josh Allen centric. Austin, give us your second bet.
All right, this is kind of what I talked about. I think Terry McLaurin's going to absolutely eat in this game. Um, I was, I've been going up and down. Like I'm going to take 80 yards, 90 yards, 100 yards. And I'm down there at the bottom, so I'm gonna play it a little more conservative. I'm gonna take him for 80 plus receiving yards, and I have that at plus 200.
Wow.
Which
Okay.
I mean, that just feels kind of free, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna do that one for 9 goats worth.
Terry McLaurin over 80 yards. And that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Let's just say, man, that was such a cool moment for him on prime time to have that touchdown. He's never had something like that with Washington, so that was really cool. Ben, give us your second bet.
I like that bet from Austin, especially because of the plus 200 and the matchup right there. I like
Hmm.
that. I too am going to go back to the most funnest game of the week, and I'm just going to lay down a fun bet on it. I'm going to pick the over because that's what I'm rooting for here. So 5 goats worth. I'll keep it conservative here, but I'll pick the over on the Commanders at the Cardinals, and let's hope for a lot of points and a good fun game there, man.
Parker, give
Now,
it to us. What's your second bet?
just to clarify, do you have the over? Is it at 50.5 or 51.5?
I'll take it either one, man.
I didn't know. I didn't know where it was at. I just know it was really high this week. Anyways, my other bet. So I can still be profitable this week if my other one misses. I took a 4-legger. That's all I'm pretty confident in. Except for the last one, but it's 16 goats worth to win 39 goats worth. It's the Chiefs, the Jets, the Texans, and the Lions all to just come out with a win this week.
Chiefs, Jets,
Wait,
Texans,
didn't you
and the
just tell
Lions.
us that the Seahawks were going to win that game?
Yeah. But
Got a hedge. Got a hedge.
two complete. No, notice that I'm on top in the pick'ems and the betting at the moment. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. If you spread them out, you can still hit. So,
See, Parker's feeling himself a little bit because he's in first place here, but he didn't get
I'll
there
be
with
in
any of
last.
these parlays.
No,
So
I'll be in last. Now that you've opened this up, I'll be in last. I think I was down like $1,000 on me and Peyton's betting segment last year, from where he ended up. So don't worry about it. But right now, I'm going to talk while I can for sure.
Yeah,
You gotta.
absolutely.
You gotta.
As you should.
I get
100%.
week 7, my mouth will be zipped shut. Promise.
You've earned it, man.
It's gonna be like Chiefs cover minus 145.
Oh, I'll be throwing out teasers, man. I'll be moving the Chiefs line. I'll be moving lines, buying points. Oh man, it's gonna be bad. But anyways, that's what I have for this week. Those are my bets.
All right. Well, there we go, everybody. So that's where we are at. That has been your Box Score Network preview show for the NFL Week 4 matchups. Again, make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you're following Box Score Network on Twitter at BScore Network, on Instagram at Box Score Network as well. Make sure you're following all of our shows. So Parker is on Two Peas on a Pod with his brother Peyton, as he mentioned, every week. Tuesdays, Parker, that's when you guys are coming out, right? That's coming out on Tuesdays.
Usually Wednesdays, but yeah,
Wednesdays.
either one.
Austin, usually later in the week, kind of varies, but getting all of your MLB fix as well from Box Score Network. You're going to Tricky Takes for that. That's Tricky with 2 eyes, as well as giving you some NFL and fantasy football talk. Ben on Odds On Favorite midweek as well, giving you more betting stuff. So previews and recaps from the games, getting you guys ready from a betting perspective. And then the Simon and Friends podcast midweek, giving you guys some analysis on the season as a little midweek fun stuff. So that is all we've got. Box Score Network preview show. Thank you all so much for listening and watching, and we will talk to you next week. Enjoy the games.
See you.